Hey guys, good morning and Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. Hope you guys have been having some good holidays with the family. And it's always one of my favorite time of the year to be able to just unwind a little bit and reflect on the year that went by. You know, everybody says the older you get, the faster time goes, and unfortunately that one's true as well. You know, there's a lot of these things that you hear when you're younger, and you I don't know how much of it you tend to believe, or like anything else that happens to you, then I guess you believe it more. But you know, it's a great time of the year to reflect. And what I've always enjoyed about the new year is really like a blank slate, right? And really have those New Year's resolutions. And you know, and if you want to write them down, you can. I haven't really written it down in the past, but just to think through it, you know, towards the end of the year, kind of last couple weeks of the year, think about, you know, the things that I continue to be thankful for, and the things that I learned, and you know, what do I want to do going forward, and what I love about the New Year's is kind of a blank slate, as I said, and be able to really put a line in the sand and say, you know what, past this year, these are the things that I'm really going to change. And you know, I'm human, obviously, and not all of those get implemented, but again, as long as some of them do and they stick, and remember, it takes about 90 days for humans to learn a new behavior. So if you can, like for example, you know, I really encourage working out in the morning. It just gets the blood flow going and get you thinking and get you in the right mindset. If you do that the first 3 months of the year religiously and really stick to it, I think that habit will stick, and I think you'll see the benefits. But you really, I think anything you try, you really got to stick to it at least 90 days for it to start to become part of your daily routine. That's really what it is, right? I think the older I get, I also realize that everything's about that daily routine from the time that you wake up, you know, those first couple minutes. You know, the other thing I've worked on and try to do is, in the past, just I get up and I'm the type of guy just rolls out of bed and gets started with my day, and that's great. But I think one thing that I'm learning is just spending a few minutes laying there and just getting centered and finding, you know, the right energy. And because you know, at night your body's going through repairing a lot of things, going through a lot of, you know, washing through a lot of different things, and so even though you might feel rested, you know, your body went through things during the night. And I think it is helpful to take a few minutes before you jump out of bed and just get your mental clarity right, you know, get centered, and then start about your day. And then for me, it's, you know, I usually get up at, depending on mornings, you know, 5:30, sometimes it could be 4:30, but I like the 5:30, 6 is really the latest, especially during the weekday. But even the weekends, I kind of just follow through. Once my clock is going, that's just kind of the rhythm that I have. And so I'm going straight to working out, and it doesn't have to be much. I don't, you know, again, I'm not trying to be a marathoner, but you know, stretching I think is really important. Some weights, and then I've got an arc trainer at the house that I like to use. And if it's a nice day, you know, in spring, summer, early in the morning, and daylight is starting to come up, I like to go running for a quick jog for about a mile or two, take the dog with me. So, you know, those are things as an example of as a New Year's resolution, because health, right, physical health and mental health really are at the core of everything, right? If you want to see real change in your life, you gotta address those and have a game plan for that. And again, you don't have to train to be in a marathon, right? In the morning, it could just be half hour, it could be just a short. And some days, you know, I might not have as much time, or maybe let's say I get up at 6:15, 6:30, and I want to be done by 7, so I can get ready to get my day going, you know, get the kids ready for school. So it might be a half hour, but at least it's something, right? It's not nothing. And so, you know, mental wellness, physical wellness, what you eat, you know, all these things. I mean, they're the cliche New Year's resolution, but I just think they're hugely important. And then goals, you know what? Just keep tweaking on your journey of where you're going, of what you want to work on, and continue learning. I think is another huge important thing. You know, for me, it's been not only in business, continue education, which I always loved. You know, and being an entrepreneur, you're always kind of drinking from the fire hose, and you're always learning. And aviation for the last several years for me has been something, and the thing I love about it being challenging, and I'm always learning something in aviation. You're never done learning. There's really multiple lifetimes worth of learning in aviation, which for me, I really enjoy. I love the continual learning aspect of that and how challenging it is. So, you know, having that in your life, having something that you're interested in outside of, let's say, outside of work, right? And again, for me, aviation has been great because it's outside of, it's been kind of my thing, right? That I can keep learning. That's outside of everything else, you know, family and work, and just kind of my thing that I enjoy doing, reading about and exploring. So having that, I think, is really important. And then community, right? You know, I love to mentor. You know, it's my 4th year doing it here at the Academies of Loudon, and I just love being with the high schoolers and taking them through how to build a business and how to think through an idea. And so, you know, whatever that is for you, you know, having community as part of your, you know, your weekly routine, making sure you're volunteering a little bit. So, you know, these are just things that I would think through, and I'm thankful for it. Like, I think through for myself, and I would want for you guys as well. And I, you know, every day, the other thing I'm learning, and I'm reconfirming the older I get, is every day is kind of a mini life, right? And every morning you have a fresh start. You really do. Every day is truly a fresh start. And also some days it just ain't there. The other thing I've also learned is some days you just don't have it. You know, and that's okay. It doesn't mean I sit around and do nothing, but I'm like, you know what, today's just, and you know, luckily there are not too many of those, but when they come up, you know, today's just not really feeling it, and that's okay. And you know, I think back in the days, I'd probably beat myself up for that and really try to push myself through, and which now I just embrace it, just go with it, and you know, it's okay to go half speed that day and still get some stuff done. Maybe other than the same speed I'm used to operating, but that's okay. So, you know, realizing that as well, and goals are important, right? I mean, goals really are important. But you know, when I was in business school undergrad, and you know, in my 20s, and you know, drank the Kool-Aid of having to write everything down. I think writing down things down are important, but you gotta have fluidity, right? You gotta think through what you want to do. I think recommend writing it down, but it's okay, right, if you don't accomplish everything that's on that list. I think you have to find contentment in just being part of the journey, and that's one thing I'm hugely thankful for. And being grateful, thankfulness, these are all things that I've learned over the years that are so important, so core, right? Because again, you know, being in my 20s and being that gung-ho entrepreneur, it was always the go. It was like one speed. And I think one nice thing about getting older is that you realize that, yeah, you need to have that. And again, there's a time and place for everything, right? This is me talking in my 40s. In my 20s, I was doing what I had to do, right? I mean, I was learning. I was interested in different businesses, and just that was so fun. I didn't have kids at the time, right? People say like kids change things. They can, right? Some people choose not to. Some people just continue just, you know, work, aren't really there with the kids. Again, that's a personal decision. I would highly encourage you to try to find some balance and have that time with your kids, because you know, when you're on a deathbed, those are the humans that, if you've done a good job, right, those are the humans that are really going to be there for you as other people kind of come and go, and businesses come and go, right? But your family, in theory, should be there. So, you know, making sure you think through that as well. And you know, this message might hit different people differently at different. Again, there's different stages in life, right? And different swings. Sometimes you got to go really hard at it. It might be a few years in a row where you're just going at it, right? And that's okay, as long as you know that you got to come back to center sometime. And it's also not the other extreme where just making all the money in the world so you can sit on the beach. That's not the answer either. It feels that way because when you're in the grind or when you don't like what you do, and that's romanticized in our Western culture, unfortunately, that to go on these expensive vacations and then you find happiness, right? And I'm not saying going on a vacation on the beach is not nice and that I don't enjoy it, but I think when you focus, right, when you have, service, and I know I'm jumping around here, but I'm just trying to pack as much as I can here in these short videos. When you have service aligned with enjoying what you do and having family, and you realize that right there is happiness, right? That going to the beach is nice, but that's not what is the most important. It's the little things. It really is the little things, like going up, pick up firewood with the kids. That's just for me just as enjoyable as sitting on the beach and being on the beach with them. And we enjoy doing that as well. But what I'm saying is if you have the bases down and you really are grateful and thankful for those things, then you don't need as much, what the media or the hype or social media would tend to make you think you need. And again, this is the purpose of this channel. This is what I'm doing. One thing I'm thankful about, even though I have one subscriber after 30 videos, that's okay. One day, hopefully, if one or two people can come across these videos and learn something from it, then it's a win. But that's the point of me putting these videos together, just to get you thinking outside of what you're hearing in the media and from other bling social media, whatever it is out there, right? I wanted to put out a different message just to get you guys thinking that there's other ways to be an entrepreneur. There's other ways to think about life, right? That it's a whole package, right? You can't just have the go button as an entrepreneur. You can't just be all out. That's important. That's good to know, right? To hustle and to get after it. That's truly important. I'm not saying it isn't, but you got to have the other stuff with it, and that's really the point of these videos. And it's been the goal for my life. Again, I'm biased, right? I mean, any message, any book you read, obviously those folks, are biased on their message, as I am for mine. And I'm not saying it's the right and only one. And but if these videos sound true to you, if your gut feeling resonates with this message and these videos, then you're in the right place. And if it doesn't, that's okay. And it might not also be the right timing for it. Maybe this will resonate with you down the road when you've listened to the other messages of big houses, big cars, all that stuff, and you realize that, man, once you get those, it's like, wow, there's what else? That's actually not the most important things in life. And that's when you'll learn that thankfulness and gratitude and family and love and service, like that's really what it's about. So I know I jumped a lot around here on this specific video, and again, it's going to help, when you guys start to comment and help me drive the conversation, because there's so many different rabbit holes here. I'm just talking about the things that I want to talk about in really, really high level. Obviously, on anything on these, I've talked about so many topics here, and there's just a 13-minute video here. There's so many other things that we could go in depth on, and you guys will help me kind of drive through that. So happy holidays, happy new year. I wish you guys all the best for next year and the years going forward, and I'm happy to share my thoughts with you and help how I can. All right, guys, send you the best. See you.